the video recording of the 45 centigram per cubic centimeter quiz. So if you had this version, here we go. Now, of course, I expect you to watch both of these videos because that's how you learn. And what you should do, of course, is try and work this problem and then watch the video. All right, so we have 45 centigrams per cubic centimeter. 45 centigrams per cubic centimeter. We want to change to kilograms per cubic millimeters. So you have to decide, am I going to deal with the denominator or the numerator first? I usually deal with the numerator first. So we're going to change centigrams to kilograms. So you do this, and you can put centigrams on the bottom. Whatever you want to cancel goes opposite. Well, we need kilograms, so you could put that up here if you want to. But I would suggest that you put grams here because I gave you the relationship. Remember, the top of these and the bottom have to equal each other. So 1 gram is 100 centigrams. The things list that's in your materials in Google Classroom says that one thing is 100 centithings. All right, so 100 grams, 100 centigrams. Then you can go ahead and put grams on the bottom, put kilograms on the top, and that same things list tells you that 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Okay, so now centigrams have canceled, grams have canceled, and we have dealt with our numerator. Now to deal with the denominator, I'll do it in a different color here. We got cubic centimeters, so we're going to put it up here, opposite. Wherever what you want to get rid of goes opposite. Now you could put cubic millimeters here because that's what you're trying to get, but I'm going to pretend that we do not know the relationship between cubic centimeters and cubic millimeters. Instead, we'll go with what we do know because this is on the things list. Okay, so 1 cubic meter is it 100 centimeters cubed? No. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. But we're talking about a cube here. So if we make a cube like this, that's 1 meter on the side. It's 100 centimeters on the side, like the things list says. But if it's a cube, it's length times width times height. So it's 100 this way, and 100 that way, and 100 that way. So you got to multiply them all together. So you get 1,000,000. And then you can do cubic meters on top to cancel it out. And you'll then put cubic millimeters on the bottom, because that's what you're really looking for. And one of these would be 1,000 centimeters on the side. So it'd be 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000, which is 1,000,000,000. All right, so now you look at our unit cancellations. Cubic centimeters are gone, cubic meters are gone. We have cubic millimeters on the bottom. We were left with kilograms on the top, and we're finished with the setup. Now we just do the math. So you multiply across the top, 45 times 1,000,000. Now when you type in 1,000,000, be careful. You do 1 exp to the 6th. Do not do 10. Don't punch in 10. Use 1 exp to the 6th. Okay, then we're going to divide that by 100, then divide again by 1,000, and then divide again by 1,000,000,000. Once again, 1 exp to the 9th. So you get 4.5 times 10 to the negative 7th. But this number has 3 sig figs. This number only has 2 sig figs. So you put a 0 here to make the 3rd sig fig to show that you've thought about that. All right, that was problem number 1. Oh, okay, problem number 2. Okay, you got 25 kilograms, and you want to change to cubic meters. Now this measures mass. This is volume. Density ties them together. So we need to take our mass to whatever mass is given in the problem, and that in the density, and that's grams. So we're going to change kilograms to grams. And we know that 1,000 grams is 1 kilogram. I expect you to know that just as quickly as I did. Okay, now we're going to use this relationship. We're going to put grams here and put cubic centimeters here. So 1 gram, no it's not, it's 2.7 grams. That's what it says, isn't it? 2.7 grams is 1 cubic centimeter. Okay, now we have grams gone. Kilograms were gone. So we want to get rid of cubic centimeters, and we're trying to change to cubic meters. So in this case, since what we're looking for is a base unit, it's a little simpler problem. You just put 1 with the bigger thing. Now how many cubic centimeters did we say were in a cubic meter? It was 1,000,000. And so when you do the math, you multiply everything across the top, 25 times 1,000 then divide by everything that's on the bottom, 2.7, and a million, or 1 e to the sixth. So you get 9.25925925 times 10 to the negative third. Well, you know the calculator is lying to you. The calculator can't know all that. We only had 2 sig figs here, so you have to round that off to 9.3 times 10 to the negative third. Oh, and the unit would be cubic meters. Don't forget your unit. Third problem. So you got 15 centimeters per microsecond. I want to get rid of centimeters, so put them down here. I'll pretend you don't know how many millimeters are in a centimeter, but you should know the relationship between meters and centimeters because that's on the things list, and I expect you to know the things list. So 1 meter, 100 centimeters. Okay, we want to go ahead and then go to millimeters. So put meters down here, put millimeters on the top, and of course the things list said that 1 meter is 1,000 millimeters. Now we're going to change from microseconds to days. So put microseconds on top because what you want to get rid of goes opposite. I'll put in orange. Show them here was the denominator clearing. Microseconds, seconds. 1 of these, 1,000,000 of these. And then we can go seconds to minutes. And then we can go minutes to hours, and then hours to day. So those would be our conversions. We know that there are 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day. To do the math, multiply across the top. So we're going to have 15 times 1,000 times 1,000,000, 1 EE6 times 60 times 60 times 24. And that's the top. We divide that by everything on the bottom, which is just a 100. So the answer is 1.296 times 10 to the 13th, which is really going to have to re-round it off to 2 sig figs because of that 15. So it's going to be 1.3 times 10 to the 13th. And the unit would be millimeters were left and days were left. And that's the third question on this quiz. I'm hoping for more than 1 or 2 views on Monday or Tuesday.